Yeah, it's normal that not everything is done by each customer. So, but what we see is more or less.
No, I know.
Drink a card.
Please have a look at this one because this is not yet. I thought this was already.
This one. Yeah. So it goes from other customers in the chemical industry. They have a sampling income. They receive the sample and it ends up in archiving the final result. So, yeah.
Please have a look and try to. Oh, thank you.
Eric can do it first.
And put it in the right order for the right order. I mean, yeah. So we had the case that someone said this is one step in one go and put the cards in such a order. Someone said sample prep. We don't do that. That is part that our customers have to do that, and they throw it away. Things like that. So it's and we also have a joker. If there's something missing, then you can also write it down and fill it in. So here's the joker. If you need to add something to the analytical workflow. So I guess this looks okay. Like, well, these cards they are out or?
Well, I think they're out just because, not that we want to do them, but we're just not there yet, just from the stage that we're at. It's like a preclinical stage, pre-IND, but we definitely want to get there, or we will need to be there. So
resource management and
that's kind of part. Encompassing everything, right? So that's there. I'd say. But yeah, so we're not really heavily tracking sample. Of course, you need to do it. It's good practice, but we're not like under any regulatory GMP umbrella yet, anything like that. We do it because you need to, right? So you just need to have good controls, rudimentary controls that are phase appropriate. Which right now we're not in that right phase where we're tracking everything like with advanced like LIMS systems or something like that.
And maybe you can describe all the steps and how it is running or working in your lab, and maybe some comments around that. So we start with the analytical request. Who's requesting the?
Yeah, so we have, again, it's very rudimentary. It's Excel based for the moment, or Google Forms based, where we kind of have this rudimentary tracking system in place. The requests come in for all different analytical methods, including our chromatographic methods. And so we have ion exchange, and we have residuals that are tracked by helichromatography, and they would go onto that form. And then they would, this user puts them in a designated location that's tracked on that same form. So again, it's not a scalable process right now. It's very rudimentary.
That means the user is putting the sample, the physical sample, in a box, or
yep, in a temperature controlled box in our 4C.
And how do you know that there is an analytical request? You have it on your computer. Is there?
It's on the there's this Excel sheet that's tied to a Google form.
And how do you know that the sample has arrived? Is there any alert?
I think the form can be set up. We have one user that's a power user that kind of made the form, and then she'll send out the request. So it's not right. It's not a very elaborate system.
No, but it was very easy for our coworker to set up, and she is not a programmer in any way, but she's still able to create like a user interface and a way to kind of keep track of samples. And as a free service, that's a very easy way for us to start using. And everyone's familiar with Excel sheets. So.
Yeah, so we're just building out. We have an IT team. All the infrastructure's in place. We're starting to go the ELN route. That's going to be up and running hopefully very soon. We will eventually we'll get a LIMS system, and we'll have a much more kind of, robust system for that.
But that's not in place, right?
It's not in place at all. No.
And now, sample prep. How is that working?
So that would just be again, for most of the assays, including like for the add exchange, right, it would be minimal sample prep. Basically a diluting samples, appropriate dilution. And for our other methods, it's there's minimal to no sample prep.
Okay.
It's mostly just dilution based.
Okay, that's pretty
So
simple.
we don't have any filtering or anything like that. They're very clean. They're usually from post protein removal process. We have a protein alkaline lysis process for removing protein, so we're not worried about cell debris or anything like that.
Okay. And then, once the sample is prepared, diluted in this case, then you go for instrument prepare, or is that done at the same time or before everyone is doing his own instrument, or is there someone who's preparing for you? How does it work?
Yeah, so it's pretty much, like in Jonathan's case, he would prepare the system as he has a queue, right, planned out, and he would prepare the system. It's, again, we're very at an early phase company, so we have limited resources. So one time we had that Agilent instrument we were sharing across, I guess I would say at one point at its peak, like 4 active methods, right? We would constantly go back and forth. So the user would have to prepare as soon as they had the sample queued up to go. They would have to do a lot of work to turn over the system, equilibrate it, prepare it, flush it out. So yeah, that was extensive. Now we have a little bit more flexibility. We got a second system, so we're able to kind of manage that slightly better. So we have one that's more or less dedicated for buffer-based methods, and one that's more organic. So there's a lot less, need for. I mean, you still have to prepare and equilibrate the system. But
You don't have to do that.
Yeah, you don't need to
I'm
flush.
really cleaning it up.
Especially going between reverse phase.
Oh, we did it all the
So-
time. We've been doing it constantly.
Okay. Then we have the acquisition. I mean,
Yeah, so acquisition is, just so it does its thing, right? It runs overnight. That's what we, that's another reason why we're really selling the chromatographic approach, as far, opposed to the gel-based approach, which is pretty much hands-on during the day, densitometry, very, very labor-intensive. So yeah,
this is on.
set up a method, let it run.
And after that, instrument cleanup, shutdown.
Yep, so that's fairly straightforward, right? We can develop, Jonathan did a great job of incorporating the cleanup and equilibration in the methods, and then also making special methods to shut the system down and clean it over. Even when we were in the context of sharing the system, right, you had really good methods to start the flush process on the heels of the previous run. So I think that works out pretty well just by the way the systems are. Kind of, they give you that flexibility to set up those types of methods. And at some point we might even explore doing that higher throughput thing where you can, chop off the equilibration and the wash and then do a valve switching to kind of do higher throughput ion exchange. Like, so these methods that you can't really scale up by UPLC type approaches, you can kind of scale up by doing the higher throughput. Multi-dimensional.
It's a really good use of that. Okay. Thinking back to my demos when you're waiting the same analysis time.
Then here is a card rework out of specifications reanalysis. This is not valid?
Not well. I mean, just again, we're phase appropriate, so we don't even we're in the pre-qualification stage, so we don't even have qualified methods where we have defined acceptance criteria yet. But of course, we're working towards that. And our QC infrastructure is being built out. We just hired a QC director, so that's all coming. But we're not there yet.
Okay, then the data analysis. I mean, it's not.
Yeah. So this is actually where we can we hope to move into a more automated area, right? Because right now Jonathan's doing, especially I'm thinking of the ion exchange method, things are very labor intensive as far as doing the data analysis.
I was doing for whatever reason in Chem Station I was doing the manual integration.